G'day and welcome back to another gas walkthrough. Today we're looking at February 14th, 2026's A Long Time Coming from Clover. If it's one of us says there Gas HQ somewhere, my name is Bill Murphy. G'day, how you doing? Happy Valentine's to my loving girlfriend. I know this is now 2 days late for us, but she knows I love her. Yeah, that's about it. We are Gas, genuinely approachable Sudoku. We create set and solve genuinely approachable Sudoku for you, the person watching this. You will find the link to today's puzzle in the description down below. You will also find hat times. 2 hats for a very fast time, 1 hat for a pretty fast time, and everyone gets a dinosaur, cause we love you all equally. Alright, I'm gonna take some time explaining the rules today. You know it's a tougher one when Clover has to put the words, now listen up because this is a little bit spicy. Today's gas is a parity party. Now, what does that mean? It means normal Sudoku rules apply. Each box, each row, and each column must contain the digits 1 to 9 once each. Now, we have some clues in the grid. So, these are parity party clues. When you see a clue outside of the grid, sum the digits in that row or column starting from the direction where the clue appears until you get to either the first odd digit or the first even digit, which should also be included in the sum. The resulting sum is the value of the clue. So, let's break out some shading so I can show you some combinations. If we went like 6, 7, lol, this would be an odd digit and sorry. Oh yeah, I colored them right. And okay, so this would be an even digit and then an odd digit. And that would satisfy the clue because we've had a row of digits and then the parity has changed the first odd or first even clue. Now, so there's a couple of other cases we should probably look at here. So like if I did 2, so if I did 2, 4, 2, and 7, right? Now this has a run of even digits, and then our first odd digit means, well, you're never going to see the green because it's clashing there. And then our first odd digit there actually means that this will also validly satisfy the clue because we've had our first odd digit or our first even digit. So here's the other thing that you need to know going into this puzzle because it's very relevant. So we could have, I'm trying to find what, no. So like, I'm trying to find one that works that isn't gonna give it away. This one. No, none of the. All right, let's look at this one. So 2, 2, and 1 would have the sum of our first odd digit being here, and then so 2 and 1 works perfectly. But also we could just sum one digit because that would be our first odd or even digit. So, let me just sort of reiterate, because I want to make sure that I'm explaining this right. Parity party is to sum until the first odd or even digit. There may or may not be a run of the reverse parity before you get to that odd or even digit. Alright, makes sense? Hope so, because I'm about to get going. Let's have a look at it. So, that being said, I'm going to jump into it. Let's do it. So, 1 is not a sum of 3 or 5. Now, neither of these are 6 or greater, so I will need to sum at least one more digit. So this is going to have to be 2, so that's our first even digit, and this is odd. This needs to be odd, so this has to be our next digit. So, no, I'm not gonna color today. Now, we're gonna need to hit 9 and 11. So, because I need to hit 11, I'm going to need to make this digit this sum be at least 2 more. So, because it's going to be at least 2 more, this has to be 6 or 8. If this is 6 or 8, this would have to be 7 or 9. But because... Oh, yeah. Sorry, not 7 or 9. 3 or... Okay, hang on. I'm just making sure I get this right, because 3 or 5. I'm just being very silly. Now, because this can only be 6 or 8, and this is a 4, this will need to take an additional digit. So, because 4, if this was 8, this would sum to 12, then we'd need an odd digit here being 1, but we already placed the 1 in this box. So this has to be 6, which makes this 3, and this 5. With me? I hope so. 8, can't go in those two cells, that's an 8. 7, can't go in that cell, so that's 9, that's 7. Now, 1 and 2, see this cell, so this can never be 1 and 2, so this must be 3. Now, 9 in the top row has to go there. I'm trying to work out which ones I don't have there. No, oh yeah, this cell. 1 and 2 see that cell, so that has to be a 3. 6 sees these two cells, so that's a 6, making this a 2 and a 5. Oh, sorry, not 2 and a 5, 9 and a 5, but we have those two, so that's going to unwind that for us. Now, let's come down here. 2 can't be, needs to take another digit, so that has to be 1. This has to be 3. Now, this is going to have to take 2 digits, and they're going to have to be odd. So, it can only be 5 or 9, because this cell sees a set, 1, 3, and 7. Now, there's a problem. If this is 9, this is a run of 2 cells, which do sum to 12, but it is not the first odd digit. So I'd need to put another even digit here, making it a total of 16. So, this is a 5, this is a 6, 3 and 5 make 8, that's now a 4. With me so far? Good, because that is basically the end of all of the parity party logic. Nearly all of the parity party logic in this puzzle. 1 and 3 mean that can't make it a sum of 1 and 3, so it has to be 4. 8 sees these two cells, so that goes 8 there. 7 sees that cell, so that's 9, that's 7. Now, I didn't quite unpack this. You could almost watch my brain turn this one over in the intro when I was trying not to talk about it, because I knew I was going to get into it once we started the puzzle. Is this 3-1 or is it 4? And the answer is, it's forced to be 4. Why is it forced to be 4? Because if this was 3 and 1, that does sum to 4, because if you've done a bunch of, like, killer Sudoku, your brain might be thinking that. But that's the sum of the second odd digit up to that point. So, a run of odd digits already makes 9, and I can't stop. I need to find an even digit, so it's going to be well past 4. So this is 4, this is 3, this is 8. 4 here means that that's 5 and that's 4. That's actually all the variant done in this puzzle. So, oh, pardon me. If you found that tough, trust me, Clover's been trying to make a parody party for a very, very long time, hence the title of today's puzzle. We have some variants that we don't like to do for gas. It's not that we can't do them, it's just, it's very hard to make them appropriate for a gas level. This is one that we think cleared the bar. Feel free to, like, you know, be polite, but say, give us feedback in the comments. If you liked it, believe me when I say Clover would love an excuse to make another one. Anyway, I've done most of the Sudoku while I was talking. 2 and 5, this is 1, 5, and 6, there we go. 6 and 1, see that cell, so that's 5, 7, and 1. This is a 6. 3, 4, 8 along here. Oh no, 1, 3, and 8 along here. 1 and 3, make that an 8. That's a 4, 1, and 8. That's 2, 4, 3, 1, and 7. So, that's been a long time coming from Clover. It's also a puzzle. We are... my name is still Bill Murphy. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers. Mwah!